These are 7 lazy scientists that brought some of the most outstanding scientific discoveries in history. I know it's very controversial to put the word lazy and discovery in the same sentence, but these men brought a revolution in everything. They changed the perspective of what invention could be and the possibility of scientific discoveries. Journey with me as I show you the men that defied the concept that the lazy can't do much. In science, of course, the idea of lazy scientists is often a misnomer, as major inventions and discoveries are typically the result of hard work and observation. However, some breakthroughs have occurred by chance or accident, often when a curious scientist noticed something unusual that a less attentive person may have ignored. In these cases, laziness wasn't a character flaw, but rather an openness to unexpected scientific results. The first on our list is a man called Alexander Fleming, a big name that you may have heard about in science. But how did Alexander Fleming get into the story of invention? Sir Fleming was a Scottish physician, a microbiologist, best known for his discovery of the penicillin in 1928. Penicillin is a group of antibiotics derived from the penicillin fungus. It fights bacterial infections by interfering with bacterial cell wall formation, untimely killing the bacteria. Penicillin was the first natural antibiotic discovered, transforming the treatment of bacterial infections. Penicillin is commonly used to treat various infections, including pneumonia, skin infections, throat infections, and certain types of meningitis. But it will amaze you to realize that the penicillin invention in 1928 was an accidental breakthrough that launched the age of antibiotics, and since then has saved millions of lives. This is the story of Alexander Fleming. He was born in Scotland in 1881. Fleming moved to London at the age of 13, where he attended the St. Mary's Hospital Medical School, qualifying as a doctor with distinction in 1906. After many years of work, something very unusual happened as the World War breaks out. During the World War I, Fleming served as a captain in the Royal Army Medical Corps, treating soldiers on the battlefield. He observed that many soldiers died from septic infections and discovered that the antiseptics used at the time often did more harm than good by killing the body's natural defense cells. This experience fueled his search for a safer antibiotic treatment. After the war came to a brutal end, Fleming returned to St. Mary's Hospital, where he spent the rest of his career conducting research in bacteriology, discovery of penicillin. In 1928, Fleming was on a 2-week vacation, leaving his lab in a state of disarray, dirty and untidy. 2 weeks after, upon his return, he notices a petri dish contaminated with a fuzzy blue-green mold. He observed that colonies of Staphylococcus bacteria growing on the plate had been destroyed in the area around the mold. He now isolated the mold, identified it as Penicillium notatum. This is where the iconic historical scientific discovery actually happened. The discovery of penicillin was initially met with skepticism and difficulty in isolating and purifying the substance. So Fleming struggled to convince others of its significance, but once it was accepted and its relevance was recognized in society, that became the start of the scientific relevance of Alexander Fleming. Fleming was awarded the 1945 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, an honor he shared with Howard Florey and Ernest Chain. The Oxford-based researchers were responsible for successfully purifying penicillin and developing it for mass production during the World War II. This is how an accident that was caused by an untidy laboratory created an iconic scientific discovery that is shaping the narratives even till today. The second on the list is a man called Percy Spencer. Percy Spencer discovered the microwave oven. This is a story of an engineer's distraction and curiosity that led to an accidental invention of the microwave oven. In the mid-1940s, Percy Spencer was working for the Raytheon Corporation on radar-related research using a new vacuum tube called magnetron. During an experiment, he noticed that a candy bar in his pocket had melted. He was intrigued and put popcorn kernel near the magnetron, which quickly popped. Realizing that this energy could be harnessed for cooking, Spencer developed the first microwave oven, turning an observational distraction into a kitchen wonder till this day. The next on our list is a man called Roy Plunkett, who discovered the Teflon. A DuPont chemist's frustration with an experiment that went wrong led to the discovery of Teflon. In 1938, Dr. Roy Plunkett was researching on new types of refrigerants. He had stored a cylinder of tetrafluoroethylene, that's the TFE gas, in a container to chill it. When he opened the valve the next day, Nothing came out, even though the tank was still heavy. Instead of discarding the useless container, his curiosity led him to saw it open. When that happened, he discovered that the tetrafluoroethylene gas had polymerized into a waxy, white, non-stick powder. This accidental polymer was resistant to heat and chemicals and was later commercialized as Teflon. If you're cooking today and you're using any of the products that has this polymer, you have to give credit to the accidental discovery of this chemist. The next accidental scientist is Constantine Flagberg, and he discovered saccharin. While working on a coal tar derivative at Johns Hopkins University in 1879, chemist Constantine forgot to wash his hands before dinner. He noticed that his dinner roll tasted unusually sweet and realized that the sweetness was as a result of the chemical residue left on his hand from the lab. He was the first to recognize the potential of the compound, which became the artificial sweetener called saccharin. The next on the list is a man called Otto Fry. Otto Fry discovered the post-it notes. In the 1970s, Otto Fry, a 3M engineer, was annoyed that the paper bookmarks he used for his hymn book kept falling out. He then remembered a light tack adhesive invented years earlier by his colleague Spencer Silver, which had been considered a failure. Fry applied the failed adhesive to his bookmarks, creating a product that would stick and could be removed without damaging the paper. His need for a better bookmark eventually led him to the invention of the post-it notes. The next accidental scientist is a man called John Harvey Collett. He discovered the cornflakes. In 1898, brothers John and Will Collett were working at the Battle Creek Sanitarium to discover a healthy wheat-based food for patients. They accidentally left a batch of boiled wheat berries sitting out for several days, causing it to ferment. Unlike others, instead of throwing out this fermented bag of wheat berries, they ran the mixture through rollers, which produced flakes. After toasting the flakes, they realized that they had a tasty new cereal, which they eventually made with corn and named it Corn Flakes. These are the stories of the lazy, accidental, untidy scientists that brought a revolution in science, even to this modern day. What do you learn from this? Number one, sometimes your greatest inventions will come when you least expect it. The same law applies in Christianity. Sometimes you wait upon the Lord, you believe Him for certain dimensions, and there seems to be a delay. But when you least expect, God shows up for you. Number two is, we learn from here that you can't conclude on a man based on his present day reality. Men who were considered failures later became creators of some of the most relevant scientific projects that help us till our present date. The next thing you learn from these stories is you can turn your mess into a message. They turn mistakes, discoveries, and some unlikely situations into jaw-breaking scientific discoveries. Turn your mess into a message. Don't let what the enemy has done to you keep you down. Don't let your reality keep you down. Turn your mess into a message. God bless you. King speaking.